All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. I don't know when. G'day, hi, and welcome. I don't know when my next uh, my battery's going to die on me, but I'll see if I can get this kit out or this video. Can you tell I just got off work? Yeah, can you tell? Yeah, I'm all stupid now. Not that I'm normally not stupid, but I'm more stupider than normal. Okay, so let's have a look at this gorgeous. Oh, look at that olive wood. So this is the Mapex Armory. Anaconda Burst Limited Edition kit. And the way I got it set up, I'd like to have a the proper flange for this, but I want to get everything as low as I can so that my shoulders are as relaxed. So here's what I got. This is about as ergonomic as this kit can possibly get for me. Your mileage might vary, but you should try this setup. It's a little weird at first because things aren't in the normal spot that you like. Usually you have this over here, which would be nice, but the 12x9 tom is just way too high with a 22-inch bass drum, right? But here's what I'm thinking for my next kit. Is that if the question comes between sound and ergonomics, I would choose ergonomics, I think, any day, because this is a 14.5 by 6-inch snare. The depth doesn't, well, it does matter because you can see that, like if this was a thinner snare, you could get closer over to there. You can pull things closer. But 14.5, I think I'm going to go and try some smaller snares. If I can get down to like a 12-inch snare, mind you, I'm doing more metal, but if I can get down to a 12-inch snare, that gives me 2.5 inches less. So even a 13-inch snare would give me about 1.5 inches less in diameter, which means either I could pull the toms in closer, the hi-hat in closer, or whatever. So I'm thinking a smaller snare will solve a lot of problems. The biggest problem is the 22-inch bass drum. Love the sound of it. I think it is the best sounding bass drum you can get for overall, where it gives you the best punch, the best attack, the best of everything. But the downside is it's 22 inches, so you can't get anything on the top of it without everything being way the hell up here, or maybe here, whatever at the best. So I'm thinking my next kit's probably going to have shallow toms. Maybe same diameter, but shallow toms. The next kit, obviously going to get, the floor tom is, there's no issues with the floor tom. I got the 16 by 16 here. It looks like a 16 by 18, but they'd say it's a 16 by 16. I'm going to have to take the measuring tape to it to see if they're lying or not. But if it's 16 by 16, that's plenty. I did the deadening little trick there. That works, seems to kill the sustain nice and fast on it. But a smaller snare would make more room to bring things in closer, which means less, even easier to play. Like I say, if I grab my stick, there's the center, so I don't really have to raise my arm at all. Tom's nice and flat. Play with the fingers more, like a... Yeah, so that's not too bad. So shallower toms, a 20-inch bass drum, I think is where I want to go. 20 by, like if I can get a 20 by 18, that'd be fine. 20 by 16 is also fine. Just means it's easier to live with when you're transporting it. I do notice when I see the demos between a 20-inch and a 22-inch, yeah, you lose a bit of that. Right? So you're going to lose a bit of that thunder. Mind you, I got dampening on there with the pillows, but you're going to lose a bit of bottom end for sure. But you also lose a bit of that mid-range attack. You're going to give up a bit. But would you notice it in the mix with all the EQing? I mean, this drum kit sounds 10 times heavier and bigger in the mix because I can EQ everything and compress everything and do all that great stuff. I'll probably go, I love the double bass pedal, I do, but I'll probably go 2 single bass drums. I've been looking at people going, like, why they'll use, obviously if you're playing a gig, the single bass drum with a double bass pedal is the way to go. for ease. But if you have an actual generous sound man and he doesn't mind dealing with 2 bass drums, then I'd rather have the two 20-inch bass drums. Smaller snare right here, and whatever tom I can fit in the middle. If I can get the 12 by 8 in the middle, because with that going down from a 22 down to a 20, that drops your toms 2 inches. And then if you go from a 12 by 9 or a 13 by 9 down to a 13 by 8 or a 12 by 8, you can drop it down 3 inches. So a total of 3 inches is probably going to be enough, right? So 2 bass drums, 1 big super tom here, a 13 or a 12, whatever, that guy, this guy. Like, I know these are not the nicest sounding skins, but when I do get the skin upgrade on this thing, I'm gonna start with, because I'm thinking metal or whatever. I want really deep, beefy sounding. I'm gonna go with Evans Hydraulics to start with those. You know, if you guys have recommendations of really nice sounding metal toms, you know, these are, you know, it's as good as I can get them to sound. They do sound pretty good, but I could hopefully get them sounding better. How am I doing for time here? Should have got my glasses. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I learned. I think a more compact kit is actually, like, I mean, if you're 6'3", you can space things out a bit more. But I'm 5'9", which is, you know, I'm tall enough, but my torso is not high enough to get these up high enough where I could still keep them nice and flat. Get stick bounce. When I move the stick, there's actually no stress on my hands whatsoever. Just the stick doing the work. You could do that all day. It's great. So that's kind of what I learned from the first kit. And mind you, I love this kit. I absolutely adore this kit. But am I at the 7-minute mark? I'm at the 7-minute mark. So yeah, I've got to wrap this up. But anyway, yeah. So I like things nice and low where my shoulders don't have to raise at all. Like even just raising your shoulder like that much. Do that for 3 hours a night. You're gonna have neck pains. Look at Alex Van Halen's, because all his drums are up here, right? And he's got to wear a neck brace. He's got bad back. I'm sitting very relaxed on this thing. And even for my right hand, it's not that much of a, you know, my shoulders just don't raise at all. Just arms in and out a bit, that's it. But with a smaller snare, I don't even have to put my arms out as much. So kind of economy of motion going on there. So I think a smaller, more ergonomic kit will be, not only will you play it easier, if you play it easier, you will play it better. I can always bring this in a bit too. Look at that. Yeah, so ergonomics, I think, trumps sound any day, because even a slightly smaller kit, you can still keep the big bass drum. A slightly smaller snare might not have as much beef to it, but again, with compression and all that, when you're recording it, you probably wouldn't know there's that much of a difference. And yeah, there we go. What do you guys think? Knowing what you know now about your kits, would you rather have a smaller, you know, a tighter kit to play, or would you go bigger? You know, let me know what you guys think.